Day 12 of my 12 books and beers of Christmas. And I suspect I know what this is because, oh no, look. Oh, this is sad. This is probably no longer going to be a secret if I'm right, because I can't, oh, for God's sake. yeah, bloody leg on that. It is indeed Secret City. Had a few pints of this on draft when we went over to the brew shed. A very, very fine beer. It is indeed. I know Chris has said publicly, so I'm not divulging any secrets. He has said he considers this to be one of the best beers he's ever brewed, and I concur. So, 12th day of Christmas, and this is the joint number one, but probably would be number one if Johnny Garrett hadn't released his book. This would definitely just have been number one. Slightly different than just plonking a book on my desk. It's Christmas Eve, so we're out with Hound, and I'm going to tell you about my number one beer book of Christmas, which is, and look how organised of me, I brought it with me, Pete Brown's Hops and Glory. And you can take a little look at this and you will see that it's pretty much brand new. Thanks, Marley. And I think I started this series by saying this is a video that I've been meaning to make for a long time. And on one of the monitors on the side of my desk, one I use for work and doing some of the NHS monitoring stuff, the background wallpaper is Marley having a dump, isn't it, darling? And someone picked up on that. Yeah, well done. So anyway, Hops and Glory. What can I tell you about this book apart from this is my book of the year as well? And the reason for that, and the reason this is pucker brand new, I wonder if I can get it into my pocket again without damaging it, is the reason it's brand new is because, again, this is one of those books that I've listened to on Audible a couple of times now, probably equally as many times as I have Randy Mosher's Tasting Beer. There's no point showing you the table of contents because it won't really make any sense. There's certainly no point flicking through the book because there's no pictures at all. It is all words. Do you want me to throw you all? It's all words. Hey, it's not easy being a dog. It's a sort of, it's like a novel, but more. Pete Brown is, in my opinion, one of the most amazing and hilarious historians, especially beer historians, beer related historians. It goes further than that. They often say the devil is in the detail. Well, what he does is he wraps up a lot of facts and figures and politics and history and dynamics and who owned what, who sold out to who got screwed over by who. But he wraps it up in a truly hilarious story. I'm not going to give too many spoilers, but I'll give you the quick rundown. Have you ever had one of those stupid ideas? Or have you ever been stuck for an idea? And then you come up with an idea and you tell a few people and then you realise how stupid it is. Well, Pete Brown is a beer writer, effectively. And he was a little bit stuck for an idea one day. And so he thought, well, why don't I write a book about IPA, India Pale Ale? Well, you know, the India part, that's quite interesting. Why don't I write a book about India Pale Ale and perhaps, maybe, take a cask of it to India? We'll brew a pale ale and we'll take it to India. Basically, that's what he did. So, Hops and Glory is the story going from the idea to brewing a cask of it and transporting it, not just chucking it on a plane, I'm not going to add a spoiler, and transporting it from Burton-upon-Trent to India. Now thanks Marley, now here's the thing. You got to leave a P-mail every now and then, haven't you? This is a bit like doggy Facebook in here, isn't it? You're just going to have a little lie down, are you? Yeah, you do that. So what does he do? Now, this is where the book gets really fascinating, because he gives you the most beautiful narrative of the history of brewing in Burton-upon-Trent. Absolutely, and one of the true skills and beauties of this is being able to wrap history up in a way that is both funny, informative, and you remember. And that is a real a part of an author's craft, is to be able to do that. Marley, you're going to come? You're going to bring your ball? Come on then, let's go. All right, don't then. And then there's the getting the cask to India, which I'm not going to give any spoilers, but there's a couple of names I want you to remember. The first is Remus, and the second is Barry. Oh, by the way, do you remember this bloke? This is my mate Andy, who came to, well, we went out for a drink when we was near Middlewich, and then after we'd been up to Wales in the boat this year and came back, we met him again on the Middlewich Arm, and the story was that we're going to bring a bag of malt back to Sheffield, and we called it Barry. That's the only spoiler I'm going to give you. But anyway, Andy's setting up his own brewery. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel below. Full marks. What a superb life adventure to embark upon. So go join his channel, please. Give him lots of thumbs up. He doesn't brew a bad beer either, does. Now, getting back to brewing a beer, Pete Brown actually did brew a special one-off beer for this trip to India. The book is, from cover to cover, it's just one of those things that, and I can't remember who it was, some actor or whoever said he knows when he's got a good script because his bum goes cold because he's reading it on the toilet. And I sort of like have those odd moments with Hops and Glory. I have those moments of crikey, have I listened to it for 45 minutes when I was only going to have a 15-minute coffee break, that sort of thing. And I have it on in the background, and sometimes I find myself, I've stopped doing whatever it was I was doing. It is hilarious, it is informative, it is a history lesson wrapped up in something that you'll find yourself literally laughing out loud. And on that note, and very seriously on that note, I mean, it covers, without any spoilers, it covers several of my favourite things. Obviously beer, IPAs, narrowboats, my favourite little town in Tenerife called El Medina, which isn't far from Tenerife South Airport, but it's more a village than a town, and quite a few other little things that those who know me will think, oh yeah, I can see why you like that, but it's not just what I like. I defy anyone who's remotely interested in beer brewing, the history, And the overall story, especially I think of IPA, to read this book and not at the end of it go, wow. So Pete Brown, and he is, and I've read and listened to, I mean, the Apple Orchard is another superb superb history book. Shakespeare's Local, it gives him that edge, really, in that his kind of dry sense of humour and liberal usage of the word fuck does lead to a most enthralling read. So anyway, I've banged on far too long. Now it's Christmas Eve. There's only one thing left to do, isn't there, boys and girls? Apart from recommend Pete Brown's Hops and Glory, what we need to do now is this. This is what it's all about, boys and girls. Let's get it in that glass. Oh, even just the smell of it is amazing. So, the 12 Beers of Christmas. This is that beautiful 12, Secret City. We've, I don't know where I've put it. Hang on. I don't know why I bothered, it's on the screen. Hi everybody, Christmas Eve. Cheers. Oh yes. It is a very, very worthy and worth the wait. You know, I started doing these silly little videos in earnest. Sorry, Ernest. When the pandemic started, and I don't think really back then we thought, you know, a couple of years later, well, nearly pushing on for a couple of years later, we'd still be kind of suffering the worst of it. And now it's the worst of it. The only saving grace is we don't appear to be having the number of fatalities and the number of serious illnesses and complications, mainly because Omicron, or as I normally call it, Omigod, tends to be more of an upper respiratory tract rather than actually affecting the lungs. So thankfully we might be at the beginning of the end. Let's hope so. So it's been a long old couple of years, and I know some people had a really challenging time, and really challenging time. So I just want to say, thinking about you, hopefully this is going to get better quicker than we perhaps thought a few weeks ago. And for everybody else, just, I know Christmas can sometimes be a really difficult time. So now perhaps more than ever is where we need to be looking after each other, because the government's not going to. Government don't care. So perhaps if we look after each other, enjoy some good books, enjoy some good beers, and enjoy some good company. I hope you have enjoyed this series. I hope you enjoy some of the videos I make. I'm not a video maker, as I think the last few videos will have demonstrated, but you know, I'm trying to make something a little bit more interesting in daytime TV. So until the next one, whatever your beliefs or faith or whatever, I don't really have much of a faith or belief, but I still wish you a Merry Christmas in the same way that I'd wish you a Merry Hanukkah or Eid or whatever. And there's a little thing that I always used to say, for all poor and distressed travellers, wherever they may be, over land, sea, or in the air, wishing them a speedy relief from their suffering and a safe return to their native land, should they so desire. Cheers, boys and girls. You take care now.